All right, it's midweek trading on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Morris is here to walk us through the performance of the various equities on the Accra Bulls.
Thank you very much, Edward. Not so much of an impressive performance on the Ghana Stock Exchange. It does appear that what we saw in the month of January, somewhat repeating itself in the month of February. And so you come to the composite index and you realize that the market just went up some 0.18 points. That's the main composite index. And then the financial stock index also went up a marginal 0.34 points. So when we look at the year to date, that's the return on investment, negative 3.5% for the main composite and negative 1.57% for the financial stock index. Don't forget that last month, January, the market returned negative, nothing to investors who invested on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Pretty much of a shift from what we saw last year. The Ghana Stock Exchange becoming the best performing stock exchange on the African continent, but it does appear that that's changing. But we'll see how it goes. So by the close of trading today, Edward, some 1.2 million shares had exchange hands, valued at 265,555 Ghana cedis thereabout. That's what we see. The market capitalization still at 63 billion, the region of 63 billion, 63.4 billion Ghana cedis by way of market capitalization. It was just a slight, hike from what we saw yesterday. So let's look at the gainers for today. It was just SIC that gained a peso. As of yesterday, they were selling 0.8 pesos or 8 pesos per share. Today they're doing 9 pesos per share. They sold the most shares, 1 million shares plus, valued at 90.3 or 90,302 Ghana cedis. That's SIC. And then we also saw the likes of MTN as usual. They also sold some 28,497 shares, valued at 29,921, 85 pesos Ghana cedis. And so, Edward, that's how the market looks like. We also see Enterprise Ghana. They sold some 47,000 or 6,209 shares, valued at 47,188,000 Ghana cedis, and that's Enterprise Ghana. And they also see Cow Bank also sold some 70,000 plus shares, valued at 59,664,000 Ghana cedis. Edward.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Maurice, for that analysis. We're going for a short break. When we come back, we're going to look at the Stop the Airtime Loot campaign. Progress made so far. Samidu Wana is here. Back to Market Avenue. Sami, welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you.
Hey.
I would say, yeah, though the journey has been very bumpy, but for the meantime, I'll say congrats.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And I also say thank you and congrats to everyone who saw, the sense in what we were talking about and carried on, and that's why we are here, where we are today.
Now, so briefly, I mean, there might be some people who are watching us for today and they don't know what exactly we're talking about.
Sure.
What is the airtime loot campaign is about, and what are some of the progress made so far?
All right. Yeah. So the campaign simply was, people were complaining that when they buy airtime, within a short time the airtime is finished. You buy maybe 10 cedis airtime, you make one call, even less than 1 cedi, probably even 20 pesos or 30 pesos call. But the next time you want to make a call again, they will tell you your airtime is finished. And people didn't have any idea how the airtime was vanishing. And so, personally, because of my own personal experience many years ago and recently, I knew that there is what we call the value-added services, where the telcos are working with some other players whom they call their content providers or value-added service partners, where they create some of these services and they put it on our phones. And so once you subscribe to, and as customers, we are supposed to subscribe to them. So you are supposed to ask and say, I want you to be sending me CNN news maybe every day. I want you to be sending me sports news every day. I want you to be sending me weather report.
Okay.
So I mean, there are about 95 of these services. So they don't know what you want. So when you subscribe, some of them cost as little as 19 pesos a day. Some of them cost as high as 2.2 cedis a day.
Wow.
Some of them can be music. I want to play this music every day. There's a game. Some of them are games. I want to play. So, but you're supposed to subscribe to it. But what we found was that many of these things, people haven't subscribed to it. But then it's either the value-added service people themselves and working with the telcos push it to people, and then they expect that if you don't like it, you will say stop. So to the extent that you have not saying stop, it means you want it.
Okay.
And what they are forgetting is that people don't even know that these services are there for them even to send stop in the first place. That's one. Then for some to maybe you go on a website, you are clicking on something. Let's say there's a cookie. When you go, the cookies are supposed to help you to sort of the website to know what you are doing, and then and sometimes even give you a better service. Sometimes you click on a cookie and there is an SMS service hiding behind it. So in clicking on that thing, you have signed on to something that you are not even aware of. Sometimes it's just even being on the website, there are all kinds of things you click on and you have signed on to stuff you're not aware of. So these are some of the ways that they sign us on without we knowing. So based on my own experience, I had my own experience years ago, and they had to point me to the service provider because I'm an MTN customer. The only person who I see as my service provider is MTN. So if MTN has signed a contract with another company and that company is giving me a service, I don't know who that company is, but for some reason they were pointing me to that company, and I went and I got my money back. Now recently that one too, they realized actually they have beaten the wrong apple, and so they had to give me my money back. So, and that was when I made them a promise. You see, this time it wasn't a threat, it was a promise. I promised them that if it happens to me again, or it happens to anybody I know again, I'll go on a campaign and ensure that the public knows that these things are going on. So they need to either they clean up their act, or I will go on a campaign to make sure that first of all the public knows, and then secondly they also do the right thing.
Wow. And
so that is what we have been doing for many months now. I started in October. My issue happened to me in August, so I started in October.
All right. Okay. So what is the progress made so far?
So the progress that we have made so far, thankfully, NCA jumped on it. First of all, I reported to NCA not officially, but I called and I made a report to them, and they asked me to bring a petition. Even before I went in with the petition, NCA, they saw all the campaign, because what I was doing was that every report, every complaint that was coming, I was putting it on Facebook, on WhatsApp, everywhere. So they were saying it. So honestly, they didn't need me to give them a petition. I mean, because the evidence is clear. So we don't need it to put up together, because if you now want a petition, then it's as if you are just checking your responsibility. So I think they saw everything was going, and so they just they started work on it. So the next time I called them, they told me they are working assiduously on the matter. But I still send the petition anyway. So when I send the petition, I got a reply. And they said that they have seen what I'm doing. They congratulated me for what I'm doing. They said they are going to work on it. So within a very short time, they issued a directive. Wow. The directives are very, very clear.
Now walk us through the directive.
I'm going to walk you through the directive. So the directives are very, very clear. Okay, fine. So with the directive came, certain other things that they are telling us as customers. But then the directive to the telcos is that, first of all, they never push any content to any person until the person requests for it. And then the request, there must be clear evidence of the request. Number one.
That is, if I have requested
exactly.
For that. Okay.
You have to. So there must be clear evidence. Number one. So the telcos must keep a record of your request.
Oh, wow.
So they must keep a record of the request I made. And then when I make the request, they should send me a prompt to confirm that I have made this request. And they should also keep a record of the prompt they sent to me. And then for me, and then if I confirm, they should also keep a record of it.
Wow.
So first of all, keep a record of my request, whichever channel it came, whether I requested it on a website or I requested by sending an SMS, whichever way the request came, keep a record of it so that it will be there for reference. And then when you send me a confirmation, send me a prompt to confirm my request, and then when I confirm it, keep a record of it.
Wow.
Do you understand? So those two are the main ones. NCA told them clearly that if if we find evidence that you have sent, you have subscribed somebody, you have sent even a message to somebody without the person even requesting for it, that is, you are going to answer for it.
Wow.
Do you understand? So the directive is very, very clear. And then we, the customers, we are being told that don't just be leaving your phone numbers anywhere. Like you go somewhere, they say that come and put your details down, then you go and leave it. Because sometimes what some of these people also do is that they don't go to NCA to go and get a short code to be sending messages. They can just treat it like Sammy the owner sending a message to Eddie. But then they have probably got some equipment, and they send it in a bulk form. They send it to, so it will look like Eddie is sending a message to Sammy the owner, like a one-on-one thing. Wow. So it is not coming from a machine, it's coming from a certain person. Do you understand? So people do that as well. And those are the people who are able to gather phone numbers from maybe events. You go to event, they are sending. So they say when you go to an event and there is no sign there that your information you are giving is protected, decide whether you want to leave your information or not. Somebody should put you under pressure that you should leave your information there, because that's what everywhere you go. So and then people take all kinds of information. Now they are even taking our bio data. They give you say right, which of your profession, where do you stay, all kinds of. Right now, even when you go to bank to even go and do transactions, they ask you all kinds. And then on the form they write this information is for a third party. You have seen it?
Yeah,
on the bank forms, information is for a third party. These are things that they probably even need to educate us about. What do they mean? So which third party? Is it NCA? Is it Bank of Ghana? Is it whoever? You understand? So they do all this. So the directives are very, very clear. Now, the other good thing that have also happened is that the telcos and the VAS players have met. Do you understand? They've met for the first time. They have met.
Is it this year or last year?
No, they met just after this campaign.
Oh, okay.
They have met to now decide. They form what I'm told that they are actually forming two committees. Number one, a committee to ensure good governance in the way they do their VAS, practice, their VAS practices. So good governance within their VAS practices. That's number one. And then they are also forming a public education committee.
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic. So we are waiting for them. Of course, as for the public education, we are doing it already.
All right.
But it is important that they also come on board. That they're the ones who are involved in the thing are also seen to be trying to empower the public to take, because people must be able to have.
You need to buy what you want. You
control how they use their airtime.
Yeah.
You shouldn't sit somewhere and decide for them. You understand? So for me that is good. And after this campaign is coming, it's good. That is what we are looking for. That the public is empowered. Whichever systems, because I don't have.
Do you have knowledge about it? Do they have timelines as to when they want to roll out?
No, they haven't. But NCA has issued the directive, so now I think that they are looking at the directives and they are seeing how they can let it pan out in a way that will benefit the. Because at the end of the day, the person you should have is subscriber, not the business that you are doing with your VAS partner. It's a subscriber. Do you understand? That is important. But then a fallout from this directive, which is, I call it a worrying fallout from this directive, is something that is on your screen right now, but I don't know whether people can see it. When people are getting messages, prompts to as it were confirm a request that they have not made.
Oh, so they will send you like, let's say a weather report.
Exactly.
And then they say you should confirm.
Exactly. So what is happening is that let's say I'm supposed to request. Let's say I have to request for a weather report, and then you send me confirmation message that I should confirm that I requested for it, and then you sign me on. Now what they are doing, and formally they were not even sending us a confirmation message. So that's how come they were signing us on our blind site. But now the directive is that do two-step verification, which is that I send a request, keep the record of the request. Now send me a prompt, and then when I confirm, keep a record of it. So that's a two-step. Now what they are doing is that they are sending messages to people to confirm things that they have not even requested in the first place. And how do I know this? Because somebody reported to me that this is what he's getting. He said the message come at dawn. Because that he'll be listening to, he's a Christian, so he'll be listening to messages at dawn, and then the request will just be coming, popping, sometimes 3-4 at a go. So he told me he has not requested for this thing. So I said that call, because one of the directives that the NCA gave us to is that anytime anything happens, we should call 100. Okay. Which is because 100 is for customer service line for all the telcos. To call whichever network you are. So he called 100, and in this case, I have the voice note. The customer service person was telling him that the customer service said that he doesn't even know through which channel the customer requested.
Wow.
When the directive says that you as a telco keep a record of the requests, how can a customer service person who is representing the telco tell the customer that he doesn't even know through which channel the person made a request? So if whether the person sent a text message or requested through a website, you should know, because you're supposed to keep a record of it. So before you even send the person notification that confirm this request, you should have a record of the request. So how can you tell the person that you don't even know through which channel?
It shows, like you said, it's worrying. They are flouting the directive given by NCA.
That is one. So even post the directive, you are still flouting it. Because if you don't know, as a customer service person, you have not done your investigation and know where the request is coming from, then what are you doing there? The answer, that's number one. Number two, they are also telling subscribers that these messages that they are getting, or the subscription that they are getting, is coming from third parties. Now,
I'm not signing a contract with any third party.
Third party, that's number one. Number two, when we didn't used to have any law on unsolicited electronic communication, that was when you can point fingers to third parties, because you are doing business with a third party. The third party is using a certain short code, blah 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 blah. Even that one is questionable, but fine. But now there's a law. The law says that duty of signing on subscribers is only for the telco to do. And so if the telco decides to now outsource it to somebody, it's a business decision. But there are consequences. If the person goes and uses it, like for instance, I give you bread knife. NCA has given you bread knife. So use it never try bread. If you give it to someone, the person uses it to go and kill somebody, it is your business. Yeah, it is. You decided that you are going to use bread knife to kill somebody. It's your business. You can't say, oh, it's a third party. No. So the customer service, they have to educate. One of the education points that the telcos, as they have met and they are going to do public education, is to educate their customer service people to stop telling people that unsolicited communication is coming from third parties. In any case, the prompt that the gentleman got came from 175, which is an MTN short code. It's not a third-party short code. It's an MTN short code. So how can you even say that such a prompt or any message that the person comes from a third party? That's number one. Number two, the person also got supposed to get a certain subscription called Tasty Meals, and the Tasty Meals is coming from short code 1120. Okay. Now, this same customer service person I'm talking about told the customer That's right. And I have the voice note. I want to keep saying it. We are not going to play the voice note, but I have it here. And I've sent it to NCA. I've sent it to the telco, which is MTN. I have the voice note here. He told the customer that short code 1120 it belongs to Haptel. That Haptel is one of the very big value-added service and fintech in Ghana. Because they know that customers don't know these companies. A lot of the customers don't know these companies. So they can mention Haptel, Ignition. In my case, in my first case, Ignition. They didn't know I can find it. I found Ignition. And I found the truth. So in this case, Haptel, me, I know Haptel. So when the person told me, I called the Haptel CEO. The Haptel CEO sent me all their short codes. 1120 was not in there.
Wow.
And he told me that this is not the first time a telco has pointed a finger at them and they are wrong. But another telco has pointed a finger at them before, and the thing went to NCA, and NCA realized that the telco was lying. So why are they doing that? Why are you telling?
Why not SCA also finding them, or the individual? As an individual, what are the remedies? Do I have to just ask for a refund, or I can? What can I do? Yeah.
So I mean, right now, it's the law.
Money.
Exactly. So you see now the law. You see the way the law is. The law leaves everything in the hands of NCA to take them on and find them. Now, part of finding them is that they will tell them to refund the money to you, and then they will also sanction them. That is where the fine of 60,000 per every single one. So if they have done it to 1 million people, 60,000 plus times 1 million, it's on to them. So if they keep doing it, then one person is sanctioned with a fine, or the jail term is supposed to be 5 years. If someone's one, if they sanction one, I'm sure that all of them will sit up.
Because before we came to the studio, I tried, I've been trying the star 463 hash, that is Vodafone.
It keeps telling you.
It keeps telling me that connection problem, all kinds of things.
Just today,
yes,
I made one of my spiritual sons. I told him, guy, do you know that? So check 463. He did it about 4 or 5 times before he finally got. When he got through, he had 6 subscriptions on his phone that he didn't know about. You see, so now for some reason the short codes, when you are even trying to access them, difficulty. I mean, why? I mean, and you have the capacity. Then if you see that a lot of traffic is coming on that short code, direct more capacity to it. If it was another thing that they will make money, they would be directing a lot of capacity to take out the traffic. But in this case, because they realize, hey, people have found them out and they are checking out. You see the problems we are facing.
So somebody might be watching us. He might have not joined the campaign. If I'm on MTN, what is the
fantastic?
If I'm on Vodafone,
exactly, and that is very important because every time, anywhere I go, I want to leave and make sure that I remind people of the short code. So the short code for MTN, if you're on MTN, is star 175 hash. Dial star for 175. When you dial, the first page that will come, you will see number 1 says that my subscriptions. Select it, and you will see what your subscriptions are. Simple as that. Vodafone is star 463 hash. Star 463 hash. When you dial it, that one it will give you then you that number 1 is my subscriptions. Then when you go the next page, it will give you view subscriptions. Then when you go, you view, and then you find what subscriptions you have there. You understand? And then with Airtel is star 100 hash. Star 100 hash. That one, it will take you to content manager. So when you select content manager, I think content manager is number 4. The content manager is where you find it. So when you say content manager, you select number 4. Then when you go, then you find what subscriptions you are on. And then you sell if you want to unsubscribe, you select one. MTN gives you the option to unsubscribe or at a go. But the rest, you have to select.
Yeah, Vodafone, you have to go through a process.
Yeah, so if it is number 1, you select, and then you unsubscribe. You come back again, select, and you unsubscribe till you finish. You see, Vodafone, I think the way the unsubscribe process is a bit too complex. Once again, you sign people on, first of all, without their consent, or when they are signing them on, it's very simple. But when it comes to them unsubscribing, then it becomes like a tag of war. As if you don't want them to go. Sometimes they'll tell you, oh, we are sad to see you go, please.
And they will tell you that if you do this, you lose this.
You lose some
bonus and all kinds of things.
It's not true. It is a lie. Please, let me mind my language. It's misleading. It's not true. You're not going to lose anything. In fact, even if you lose all the points, first of all, you didn't know that you have been signed on.
But do you even get that bonus?
Are you even getting the benefit?
I'm not getting it.
You're not getting the benefit anyway because you didn't even know you were signed on to anything. So please, in the first place, you didn't know. So you lose, you are losing what? I actually want my money back. So what? Do you understand?
How much did they pay you back?
You mean
your own? Yeah.
In my case, at the time they stopped because I realized that there was still one city. So 3 cities, I got it back. In my mother's case, it was 40 something cities. I got 40 cities back.
Wow.
But it was a bit over 40 cities. I couldn't tell exactly. So what I remember is it was a bit. So they gave me 40. It gave her 40 cities back, and they gave my mother 40 cities back. Wow. A number of people. Just 3 days ago, a friend of mine from Bank of Ghana sent me a message and said that, Sammy, when you started this thing, I checked out from all these things. But just today, the day he sent me, just today, I just had to unsubscribe from another one again because I checked and realized that they have signed me on again.
Wow.
What is this? What is this?
So, I think the onus also lies on us.
Vigilance.
We have to be very vigilant.
Look, I have told everybody that, look, don't rest on your ass and think that, oh, NC has issued a certain directive and they are going to cut. Look, that's what the directive, that when they violate it and there's evidence, they will be fined. And the fine, it goes to government anyway. And so that once what I'm saying, that once somebody is fined and we know who it is, then we can go on a class action and get our refunds.
Get our refund.
Because now we have evidence that this person has been fined. He went to court, he has been fined, he has been proven guilty. Then we can go to the NC or court and also get our refunds. But until then, if you go, it will become a long. You alone, you are going to become a long process. But at least what we want now is that they say near Ngofona we are known from Kopa Niakano. So now what we want is that it has to stop.
Stop the airtime loot campaign.
It has to stop. It has to stop. And the vigilance, look, don't let us, the telcos have met, they are going to do public education, they are going to ensure good governance.
I don't think they're going to do it. They wouldn't do it. So
vigilance.
we have to take it upon ourselves.
We shouldn't deceive ourselves that once they are doing these things, because look, it can be a smoke screen. That, oh, Charlie, now they have taken over, they are doing please, vigilance. Your salvation is in 175 *175 hash MTN, *463 hash Vodafone, and *100 hash Etetigo. Keep doing, and every morning when you wake up, instead of going on WhatsApp and going read Snapchat and doing unnecessary things early morning, please do your quiet time. After your quiet time, your next thing is your short codes.
Because you are losing money
every day.
You're losing money.
It will help you.
All right. So, like you said, your salvation lies in making sure that you check your various *175, Yes. That's MTN. And then *463 hash.
No matter how long it takes for you to get access, keep checking. Keep checking, because sometimes when you are checking, they keep stop, like they'll tell you no connection, but keep checking out until you are.
Thank you very much. This is our wrap up Market Avenue today. That's been Samido Wona, the campaigner or the advocates for Stop the Airtime Loot campaign. God willing, we'll come here again tomorrow. My name is Edward Nyako. Shalom.